Two humidors that I'm really, really proud about and most enthusiastic about. And I think because of my love of precious metals and what that investment did in my life, I always wanted to do a very beautiful and special humidor that had more value than just it as a humidor. And we have to roll back to 1996 when I met Governor Schwarzenegger. I met him and he bought the humidor from me, and I really wanted to ask him if he wouldn't mind me taking a picture of the humidor in his office and put it in the cigar magazine. Thank you. There it is. The sterling silver humidor. Thank you, Brandy.
Look how gorgeous that is.
100 ounces of sterling silver in this field, George.
Yeah.
And I'm so neurotic, I even have to do the bottom. No wrinkled felt allowed.
Right.
Feel that.
Yeah.
I think it's about 30 pounds, but there's 100 ounces in silver. And it took me about 10 years to find a silversmith to
work it.
To work it, to make the goudron lines on the top.
Can you see the surface?
The rounded edges.
And the little cameo oval.
You can engrave your initial on there. So it's the only humidor in the world which is done in sterling silver. And I think it's the only humidor that also has investment potential, investment value. There's $4,000 worth of silver in there. And one day silver price will raise and it will eclipse what you have to pay for it, which is only $20,000. And this one is actually sold to a German jeweler called Ruschbeck, and we're shipping this next week. And he's going to put it in his flagship store in Frankfurt. And we've sold about 3 of these, one in Davidoff, and a variety of couples shops around the world have carried this humidor, and one in Harrods. And it's really a pretty piece.
And that's the saga of Daniel Marshall, from surf bum to worldwide luxury manufacturer.
Thank you guys for your time and for your interest. I appreciate it and look forward to coming back and sharing you more stories. And like I say, cigars to me are the modern day campfire. I really, really believe and so grateful that I get to be in this business because I do it for free. And I've been 30 years in this business, and I can't wait for the next chapter and the next phase. And there's something just magic about smoking cigars with you guys, and the friendships that have developed over the years through the cigars are unbelievable, and the journeys that one can take with the passion for cigars. And I truly think that when we smoke this cigar, something happens. That we light it and we smoke it, and we remember prehistoric days and times where we're around the fire, talking, sharing, and really unwinding, because the cigar is soothing, and I really believe the cigar is going to keep me going another 25 years. And I attribute my good health to smoking cigars, and it's beneficial to my health because it absolutely, and Ed Copeland used to tell me this guy who lived to be 97, smoking every day, smoking pipes. He smoked 3 cigars a day. He drank every day.
Yeah.
He loved life, passionate about life. And he would tell me about the benefits of cigar smoking. He says, Danny, you got to smoke every day because it's going to do one thing for you. It's going to make you calm. It's going to lower your cortisol. And he was a pharmacist, so he'd tell me all the things that happen in the body when we smoke. And when stress is the killer. And one day, medical community is going to say, lower your stress, live longer. And this is what it does for us, I think. So smoke away, guys. Live longer.
You have a wonderful following in the cigar community, but what I find great is that you actually had a time so that you could cross product in a huge situation with the Scarface Blu-ray DVD. And I was wondering how that came around, because that's an ingenious idea that really was quite interesting.
Well, also, the first time in all this anti-tobacco era that a movie studio, a major institution like that, chose to use a cigar-related item as their main promotional vehicle for their biggest release of the year.
Yeah, they for their iconic films, a lot of these studios come out on Blu-ray with the film, and they make a big publicity splash, and they do a big event, and they even have screenings around the world. And Scarface, one of my all-time favorite movies, when Universal came to me and they said, we understand you make the best humidors in the world, you're the top rated by Cigar Aficionado, and we know you make great packaging, but what would you have in your mind an idea for a packaging of our Blu-ray to celebrate Scarface's 30th anniversary and the launch on Blu-ray? And there's no doubt in my mind, and immediately the answer was there's only one thing you can do with a Blu-ray. You have to put it in a Daniel Marshall humidor, and we make it Scarface limited edition, very special with the Tony Montana motif on it, and a great slogan from the movie has to be emblazoned on it. And they said, you know what, we're not sure. We're not sure about a humidor. Maybe there's some anti-smoking sentiment going on, but and I just would not let that drum. They were looking at other options. They were going to do a Tony Montana chair. They were going to make a sculpture that maybe offer as a package with it. But I said, you got to go for the humidor, and I give you a list of 3 people to call in the United States, and you can check it out and see what they have to say. So the first person on the list, George Brightman, the guru of the cigar world. People don't know it, but this man knows everything about cigars. Maybe I shouldn't publicly make that known because he's just a genius. And he talked to them at Universal, and they asked him, what is the potential for a humidor? Could we sell a humidor? I wasn't licensing the product. They were buying it from me, and then they were selling it through their channels. And George talked to them, and Nat Sherman talked to them. I gave them the Sherman's number and contact, and also Nazareth in Beverly Hills. They sent people everywhere. Yeah. They sent people to New York. They talked to George on the phone. They went into Nazareth for an hour and sat with him. He's had a cigar lounge in there for over 35 years. And it's one of the oldest cigar lounges probably in the country. Mm-hmm. And they came back saying, okay, we're going to do the humidor, but we want only 100. And it says 100. I can sell 100 in like 2 seconds. And so finally, they ordered 1,000 humidors by the time they got finished with it, and they wanted them in 2 months for the Blu-ray release on September 9th. And you know what? I wanted this deal. I gave them a great price. I said, we're going to work 24/7 to make this happen. We've never painted anything in white. This humidor is pure white, and with the Montana logo on the top, and on the front, of course, you know what it says. The world is yours, in gold. They wanted a decal, and I said, that's crap. We have to do quality, so we have to print it in actual gold, ink gold with particles of gold. So we did a silk screen in gold, and we just jammed it, and we made it, and we packaged it right, delivered it exactly on the due date. They did a big publicity event in LA where Pacino came, and all the cast became good friends with Chichi. This guy called Angel Salazar, who is a great actor and a fun comedian, and I actually hope to do a cigar event in this shop with him, and he will tell you guys jokes. You'll be laughing and signing humidors, signing the Scarface humidor. So at the end of the day, Universal sold all of them out. They gave me 200 to sell through my retail network. 200 were allotted for Germany. They were sold in 3 hours on Amazon. And it ended up being a big hit, got great press coverage, and it was fun because at the event I was schmoozing with a guy talking about the humidor, and I said, without doubt, this is the most expensive Blu-ray packaging in the world. And he turned to me, he says, would you mind saying that on camera? I said, camera? Where's the camera? Who are you? He says, well, I'm the ABC entertainment reporter. So he brought this big-ass camera in my face, and I gave the spiel, laughing about it. And so that was a big hit. I mean, it got a lot of press because, first of all, it's a cigar humidor. Second of all, it's $1,000 for, I got to buy the Blu-ray, but I got to pay $1,000 for it.
Exactly.
So, but all in all, it was great. And when the head guy from Universal was at the party and I was introduced to him, I said, you have a lot of courage. You're my hero. I was crossing my fingers thinking this deal was going south because of all the anti-smoking campaigns and pushing. And he said, no, Danny, your humidor was perfect. It was a perfect match. You were the best humidor maker. We couldn't go with anybody else because they didn't have, how can you support a $1,000 price point unless it's a quality product? And because normally they make everything in China, for this kind of packaging. But it was a great deal and a lot of fun. And I thought it was a great nod to all us cigar smokers and cigar lovers because cigar is in our culture. Cigar is here to stay. I tell you, Columbus might have discovered America, he might have discovered gold, but he missed the real gold. He missed the brown gold. And now, I guarantee you, if you calculate how much money's been made off gold or tobacco, there's probably much more money made off tobacco. So at least today we appreciate the brown gold. And now with the gold cigar, we can have
You can combine both.
we have what
You
Columbus
can
missed and what he discovered, and we can celebrate both golds. But
Mike, you had a question?
I did. What happened with the boat?
Yeah.
you wouldn't
thank
believe
you.
this, I have to say. Do you think I ever picked up that $50,000 check? I never got the $50,000 check for my boat because I made the gift, gave him the gift, started this run, and I was not turning my back. I was following an energy, and dumb.
That's great.
What do they say? Dumb and well, it's I can't repeat
Yeah,
it
don't
here on
you don't
tape.
need to put that on the.
But sometimes when you're naive and ignorant and you just go with it, it's amazing what can come of that. And I never worked another day on the boat from that moment that I gave that cigar case to the man. Never borrowed the money, but of course he invested in me and set up our factory, and was really enthusiastic about seeing that kind of success. And but the boat is still there and it's unfinished.
Are you kidding? So you still
One day, my daughter wants me to finish it.
That's great. All right, anybody else?
Probably named Elvira.
Thank you guys very much. Once again, thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, thanks, Jerry.